Xiaomi or Redmi has been dominating the budget segment for a few years now. Specifically, the Redmi Note series has been a huge success. But in 2019, some brands have come up with devices with great value for money, posing threat to Xiaomi's dominance in the segment. And Realme is probably at the top of the list, thanks in large to the Realme 3 Pro. So how good is it in real life usage? Well, I've used the phone for about a month and have so much to tell you. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashwin Sundar. This is Technology Jock. Guys, my phone testing schedule has been crazy the past few months. I try to use every phone for as long as possible, and the important phones like the Note 7 Pro and Realme 3 Pro, I use them for a month to give you the perspective of a common user who uses a phone every day for a long time. So please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to appreciate all the efforts. The Realme 3 Pro comes with a plastic bag that kind of looks like glass. That's the kind of design they've gone for. This is something every brand is doing these days, and I guess it's totally fine as long as it's durable, because as far as the design goes, it is refreshing. The gradient look is great. I think Realme 2 Pro was the first mainstream phone to come with a plastic bag that was not hated by people, because the build and design were good. And ever since then, Samsung, Xiaomi, Asus have all started doing the same thing. If you don't like the design, you can use something like a skin from our sponsor Capes India. Capes India makes these cool skins that don't just look great, but also provide better grip and prevent scratches without adding a lot of bulk or weight to the phone. They fit perfectly, and there are a lot of design choices. They are available for all the latest phones, including the OnePlus 7 Pro. So do check them out. You can use the coupon code TJOCK to get 10% discount on your purchases. If you're still paranoid about the phone's durability, Realme has also provided a transparent case in the box. And guys, let me tell you something. This is probably the best case provided by a brand in the phone box. It fits really well, and it even protects the display from minor drops because the edges of the case, the lip, kind of protrudes. It is at a higher level than the display. So it protects the display as well. And the fit is so perfect, it's so tight, it wouldn't just come off easily. This is something that was not talked much about, but Realme deserves some appreciation for this. I'm still not able to remove it. I give up. The silver rings around the cameras and fingerprint scanner and the vertical branding are a nice touch. The phone feels premium in hand. All three buttons are very sturdy, they don't wobble, and they offer good feedback, that clicky feeling. Now, since it's plastic, it's not that heavy, and there's a gradual curve near the edges, so it's quite easy to hold the phone, even using one hand. Although the display is too big for single-handed usage. It's 6.3 inches to be precise. Resolution is Full HD+, the display quality is quite good. Of course, it's not as good as Samsung's Super AMOLED display or anything, but this is not bad at all. The colors are reasonably accurate, and for an LCD panel, the contrast is also really good. The only major drawback is, although the phone has Widevine L1 certification, I was not able to stream Full HD content on Hotstar or Amazon Prime Video. Looks like the streaming services are yet to whitelist the phone. If anybody else is facing the same issue, please let me know in the comment section. So except for this one thing, the whole multimedia experience is quite good. The loudspeaker is really good, the volume levels are not too high, but the audio quality is great. I watched movies for some time and even some TV series. The experience was good. You can store tons of movies and music, by the way, because there is a dedicated micro SD card slot. Now the audio via the earpiece is also good. Even the volume levels are high enough. And the audio via the 3.5mm headphone jack is also amazing. Moving on to what's inside the phone, there is a Snapdragon 710 chip at the heart of the phone. Now let me quickly tell you the differences between Snapdragon 710 and 675. 675 is on the Note 7 Pro, by the way. The 675 chip has the latest cores, the faster cores, so in terms of raw performance, the 675 chip is supposed to be better. The 710 chip, on the other hand, has better GPU and is also slightly more efficient since it's manufactured on the 10nm FinFET technology compared to 11nm. So the 710 chip is better for gaming. Now, none of these matters even a bit when these things don't add up in real life usage, right? First off, gaming performance is almost equally good on both phones. Asphalt 9, PUBG, Call of Duty, all of them run great in medium graphics and reasonably well at even high graphics. What's surprising is despite the 710 chip having slower cores, the Realme 3 Pro was twice as fast as the Redmi Note 7 Pro in a video rendering test we did recently. Here's the complete speed test between both phones. Also remember, the Note 7 Pro struggles to capture videos in the desired frame rate. There is some sort of throttling, so it keeps skipping frames. It captures only 20 to 25 frames per second, whereas it is supposed to capture 30 FPS, but this phone doesn't have those issues. So what I'm trying to say here is, in practical usage scenarios, the Realme 3 Pro comes out on top in many situations, like opening games, recording videos, etc. The optimization is great. And I noticed a lot of small things over the past few weeks, like even a simple task like rotating a photo and saving it is faster on the Realme 3 Pro. Background app management is good too. This is the base variant with 4GB RAM and I didn't see it reload apps frequently. This one has 64GB internal storage, but there is a dedicated micro SD card slot. It's expandable up to 512GB. Now, like I said, the 710 chip is a 10nm chip, so it's very efficient, which means it does not heat up easily and prolongs the battery life as well. The 4045 mAh battery on the Realme 3 Pro lasts one day quite easily. Even on heavy usage, you can game, click pictures, do all that you want, and it will still last you one full day. On a typical work day, when you don't game a lot, you just use social media, news apps, WhatsApp, Telegram, and maybe watch YouTube or Netflix for 1 or 2 hours. For that kind of usage, medium usage, the Realme 3 Pro lasts 1.5 days. It's not outstanding or revolutionary, but the VOOC fast charging is definitely one such feature. 0 to 50% in about 30 minutes, and with the phone turned on with Wi-Fi on, it took just 1 hour 15 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%. That's 75 minutes. That's insane for a budget phone. Yes, I would have liked to see Type-C port on the phone because now even Samsung and Xiaomi have started providing Type-C on most of their budget phones. But I think it's forgivable here given how fast you can charge this phone. Now, if I ask if there is anything bad about the phone, most people would say ColorOS. I'll be frank, I do prefer stock Android or something like Oxygen OS, but ColorOS is not all that bad. Realme has been taking a lot of feedback from users and constantly improving the interface. In fact, this is probably the only Chinese OS that has an app drawer. Just like on Xiaomi phones, you can move multiple apps at once, although you can't uninstall them together. And yes, you would want to uninstall some third-party apps that are preloaded like NewsPoint, Opera, UC Browser, and so on. In terms of features, you get a lot of motion and gesture shortcuts like Draw O to enable camera, etc. You can customize them in settings. You can also clone apps, lock individual apps, and use apps in split screen mode by swiping up with 3 fingers. And yeah, like I said before, the user interface is quite smooth and fast. Each and every task is done with ease. There is definitely some room for improvement, like despite running Android Pie, there is no digital well-being and you can't swipe down to get notification panel, which is kind of essential since phones are super huge these days. The point is, it's not as bad as it used to be, it's perfectly usable now. And guess what? The Realme 3 Pro is one of the few budget phones to support Android Q Beta. And right now it's on May security patch update. Anyway, last but not least, let's have a look at the camera performance. The Realme 3 Pro has a dual camera setup, a 16 megapixel primary camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Now, if you want to know how the camera compares to the Redmi Note 7 Pro's cameras, I will have to stretch this video by another 10 minutes. Please watch the full camera test here between both phones. The 16 megapixel primary camera performs well in both daylight and low light. HDR performance is amazing, probably the best in this segment, and I'm sure you noticed this already, the images are oversaturated. With Chroma Boost on, everything looks extremely unnatural, and even if Chroma Boost is off, if AI scene recognition is on, it still makes things unnatural. So sticking to the regular mode is recommended. Even that produces oversaturated images, but it's much better. There is an Ultra HD mode in Pro mode which captures 64 megapixel images, which are not really 64 megapixel images. It's completely software based. The results are not all that different from regular 16 megapixel images. When it comes to portrait mode images, the oversaturation is clearly noticeable. My friend here looks very orangish, and the edge detection too is not the best. The overall quality is okay. Under low light, the Realme 3 Pro captures really nice images. At times though, it tends to lose focus, resulting in images like this. But when you get it right, the results are amazing. Especially the new night mode is fantastic. It really brings out the details in both shadows and highlights beautifully. In case you don't understand those technical terms like shadows, highlights, f1.7 dynamic range, etc., then please go watch this video. I've explained everything in very simple terms. You will understand everything, and you can even master photography with a bit of practice. The Realme 3 Pro can shoot 4K videos at 30 FPS and 1080p videos at 60 FPS. The footage quality is amazing, the colors are natural, and the stability is also great. Yes, it supports EIS. It also has a couple of slow motion options, 1080p at 120 FPS, which is good. And then there is also a 720p 960 FPS option, but it's not actually 960 FPS, it's just 240 FPS stretched to look like 960 FPS. Here's a video about it. Now the lack of 960 FPS is totally fine. It's a high-end flagship feature and we can't expect it in a budget phone. It's just that such marketing gimmicks might mislead consumers because there are some people who buy the phone just for the 960 FPS slow-mo and they end up feeling disappointed, right? Anyway, Realme has said they are working on providing a genuine 240 FPS slow motion option through an OTA update which will arrive soon. Next up, selfie camera performance. The selfie camera is a 25 megapixel sensor and it works in a completely different way compared to the rear camera, by which I mean the selfies are not oversaturated. The colors are natural, which is a great thing because nobody wants their skin to look like this. The dynamic range is also great, the details in the sky are visible, it's not overexposed, and all of these things apply to selfie portraits as well. Great color representation and dynamic range. The selfies are quite sharp too. So what is my final verdict? The design, the performance in terms of speed, gaming, etc., the cameras, the VOOC fast charging technology, and the dedicated micro SD card slot. These are all the remarkable stuff. These are among the best features any phone can offer under 20,000 rupees today. But even the other features are good for the price, be it the display, the battery life, the software experience. The best part is availability. Now, this is not a review unit. I bought this phone. I ordered it on the very first sale on April 29. The sale went live at 12 PM. The phone was available even after 10 minutes on realme.com. So think about it. A great budget phone going on sale for the first time. I was able to get it even after 10 minutes. So my single line verdict would be the Realme 3 Pro is absolutely worth 14,000 rupees. It's a fantastic package overall. If you want to know how it compares to the Redmi Note 7 Pro, well, I need another 10 minutes for that, minimum. Please let me know in the comment section if you want a full comparison. I've used both phones for a month each, so I think I can help you out. A lot of hard work went into the making of this video, so please hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon as well. Also, don't forget to check out Capes India skins, they're amazing. Thank you so much for watching. For the moment, this is Ashwin Sundar saying goodbye. See you soon.